Yeah, there's most definitely no snakes out in here. What's up, guys? All right, getting an early morning walk in. Just gonna show you something. See? All right, so this house is abandoned, but you can't buy it. This house next to it, though, it's for sale, and I got some ideas for it. See it? It's zone commercial. I don't know. Every time I walk by it, I think I need to buy it. There's something about it draws me in, but I just can't seem to bite the bullet. Now it is that they're asking a little too much right now. Maybe we could bring them down a little bit. But this is basically downtown and where I live, but which is not where my other two clinics are. So this would be a third clinic location, which brings its own complications. If I put a clinic there, which I guess I didn't say at first, that's what I was thinking of doing. But I've always had this weird dream of kind of having a downtown building as a clinic, kind of like the old school doctors, you know. Doesn't have great parking access, but there is a place you could drive behind it. I could make like a little parking pad, at least for employees. I don't know how good of access it would have, handicap access, if I did patient parking back there. So I think patient parking would have to be on the street, but there is handicap access from the street into the building. Anyway, so it has its own problems, but everything in life does. Now, again, I'm just playing with the idea. Who knows what I'll actually do. I've been thinking about this for a long time, though, and that building's been for sale for a while too. So anyway, I don't know. All these people driving by, probably watching me talking to my phone like a big idiot. It's all right, they'll get over it. So, I don't know. What do you think? Should I do it? Should I not do it? I don't know. We'll see. So you see this building here. Oh, sounded almost like somebody almost wrecked. But anyway, this building here, I called them several years back when this side of the building was empty to see if they would rent it to me, but they wouldn't. It's actually owned by this hospital here. And on the other side of the building, there's a doctor who rents out space. And so her daughter is a nurse practitioner that works for me at one of my other clinics. So I really wanted that space next to her, but it didn't pan out. So. But you know, sometimes things don't work out. That's all right. It's probably for the best. I didn't really have a plan for it at the time. It was just open and available, and I felt like it was a good opportunity. So sometimes I just, I don't always know what the full path where it will take me. If I see something that I think is a good opportunity, or that I feel like I need to at least take a step in that direction, I just kind of go for it. So now I used to live down that road. So if you saw any of my, some of the videos of me riding my bike, you might have seen me go down that road on my bike to get back to my old house. But we have since moved into the woods. So, and this lot right here is an empty lot. And my in-laws own that. And if you notice, I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, there it is. So there's a lamp post, like just a weird random lamp post. And it always reminds me like the Chronicles of Narnia. And that lamp post is just out in the middle of nowhere, you know. So I always thought that was kind of cool. All right, let's keep walking. I was going to walk and show you a few rental houses that a buddy of mine were working on, but I forgot that the neighbor has a pit bull. I'm not risking that bad boy coming after me. He's probably going to be inside or on his chain right now, but I'm not taking that chance. So, you know, one of the reasons I'm showing you all this, like, you know, showing you the building I might buy, showing you or talking about those rental houses I have, and talking about my multiple clinics, is that, I don't know, maybe it's my ADHD, but I'm always having ideas and I'm always trying new things, and I don't like to be put in a box. I don't like for someone to say, you know, well, you're a family doctor, so you can only, you know, work here and only do this or only do that. I like to just be me, and sometimes that's good. Oh, let me just show you this trail, man. This is like, I mean, I tell you what, if my town had a claim to fame, this should be it. This trail. So they took an old, and this wasn't just my town. I mean, it was, but anyway, there's like 40 something miles maybe, where they took old railroad tracks and they turned it into a bike trail and a walking trail, and it just so happens to go through my town. And it actually goes all the way to my work, which if you watch that video where I ride my bike to work, it was on this trail. Most of it, at least, you know. So I did about 20 something miles to get to clinic one day on my bike. I need to do that again, man. That was a lot of fun. But I don't have a shower at work, so it's kind of, you know, I just had to kind of pat dry and make do. So I felt bad for my patients that day, I guess. But anyway, that was fun. Anyway, what was I talking about? Okay, I started rambling here about, okay, so, like, I don't like to be put in a box, so I want to be able to do random things and lots of stuff. But I've found that seems to work for me. And, you know, when I started my website and the blog or whatever, I was just kind of wanted something that would maybe help some of my patients. I honestly thought I would talk more about workout routines, what to eat, what to, you know, kind of your basic health and fitness type thing. But what seemed to be more interesting to me, and what I seemed to get the most, I guess, also interest in from other people, was talking about addiction, depression, anxiety, things like that. And so you don't always know where your ideas are going to take you. But you just kind of sometimes just have to go in a direction and see what happens, and be open to change, and be open to, you know, be flexible, learn to adapt. You know, don't let a few failures stop you. I mean, you know, because I had my blog going for a couple of years, really, before I even showed, I think, my wife a post. And one night she just decided to share a post on Facebook, and then people started reading. So you just don't know how long you'll have to work at something, or how you might have to change what you're doing. And that can be tough to know. You know, it's hard to know at what point do you give up on something, or what point do you push through. because you can't see the future. So sometimes you just kind of got to go with your gut and work your tail off, though, because I mean, if you're not putting the work in, then you can't, say that you actually tried it and failed. And you also have to define what's success for you, because success doesn't have to be financial. It doesn't have to be like a million YouTube subscribers or whatever, and that's not what success is to me. Success is like that one person who comments that they were able to taper off Suboxone, or that they, they're less depressed today than they were yesterday, or whatever it is. Like, when you can kind of start finding joy in those small things, it can really make a difference in your life when you're not like, trying to expect or have like this weird feeling that the world owes you something. Don't worry about what the world owes you. Instead, just give and be creative. And when I say be creative, I don't mean like art or like that. I'm saying create something. You don't actually have to be artistic to be creative. Just create something that's good for this world. And that might be something simple. It might be, you may have some friends that are foster parents, and you might know that, man, it's tough. And so maybe you can't be a foster parent, but maybe you could go over their house and cook them supper, or maybe you could clean their house for them, or mow their yard, just something random. And you're probably thinking I'm saying that because I used to be a foster parent. I'm like, come mow my yard. No, I'm just saying, that just like popped in my head. And it's because I had a friend, my wife and I were on vacation, and we came home and our friend was there cleaning our house. Just to be kind. It was just kind of a random act. And anyway, so that's my spiel today, I guess, maybe. I don't know. We'll see where this walk takes me. We'll see if there's anything else we want to talk about. It's really nice out here, man. Today is great. Great day. It's summertime, but it's not too hot right now. I mean, it's late July, but feels good right now. Whew. And I think I'm just going to walk. I was thinking about maybe running today, but I feel like maybe today is just a walk day. So, all right. Talk to you later. Yeah, there's most definitely no snakes out in here. What you think? Sheesh. But you see what I'm talking about, how cool this trail is? They got this little walking path right here. Not really part of the trail, it's just kind of off the trail. It goes up to a parking lot. This old building, wall, it's just like a wall that's still standing. Really cool. I don't know what this building used to be. Need to ask somebody. But I'm definitely checking the path for snakes. So, oh, see, I have not even seen this yet. So they built this pavilion. Oh yeah, that's nice. Big ceiling fan. Little stage over there. Yeah. So I remember when they were talking about building this trail. There was some opposition. I wouldn't say a lot of opposition. There was opposition though, and people were saying that, oh, there's going to be all these hoodlums hiding out. and attacking people on the trail. Like all of a sudden, it was going to be this hub of crime. And there was just a bunch of fear mongering that made zero sense. But it's just interesting how many people make decisions in their lives based on fear. And in fact, fear is like one of a very strong motivator, a very strong persuasive tool. And sometimes it's not like it's always bad to make decisions based on fear. Like, I don't know if you're looking over a cliff, but maybe you want to keep one hand holding something so you don't just trip. You're making a decision based off fear, but it's a healthy decision. If you decide to quit smoking because you're afraid of getting lung cancer, you're making a decision based on fear, but it's a good, healthy decision you're making. But sometimes we let fear just run us, We're afraid of everything. And what a lot of people are afraid of is themselves. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid to be who they want to be who they feel they are. And they're afraid of what other people will say, what other people will think. They're almost afraid of their own shadow. That is not a healthy way to live. And I'm not saying, be who you are, because if you're an asshole, that's not who you need to be, right? But to an extent, yeah, you gotta be free and let go of that fear. And I don't know, because I remember this time in my life where I felt like I had to, it kind of was part of living up to expectations, and I'd be afraid of what people would think. I mean, even every time I post a video, I get a little nervous that, you look pretty goofy in that one. Your voice is kind of weird. You ramble. You're not a great speaker. All these little negative thoughts, they build, and it makes me afraid, right? And so one thing I do is I just put it out there, and I just say, so be it. And it's a way of conquering my fear. And I've talked about this. I wrote a story about this in my blog, and I'm pretty sure, I've got it in my book as well. And it's about when I went to Haiti. It was after the earthquake. But I remember I was like ironing my clothes one morning. I was getting ready to go to Haiti. Like, I think I was leaving in a few days. And we were going to provide like a medical team, for the survivors. And I was ironing my clothes, and I heard this voice. And I mean, the voice was as real as I've ever heard anything. And it was like, you're gonna die there. And it kind of freaked me out. Not because a voice was talking to me. I mean, I didn't hear it audibly, but I just felt it so strongly. And so I just responded, so be it. Because I refuse to live in any type of fear. I refuse to live worried about others' expectations of me. That doesn't mean I'm always perfect at this. But it's kind of what I strive for. And so sometimes I do things just in spite of myself. Just to know that I'm alive. To know that I'm human, imperfect, and it's okay. That's just it. Like, no one is expecting me to be perfect. No one is expecting me to live forever. No one is expecting me, to anything, really. Those expectations are self-limitations that I put on myself. So breaking through that fear can be a huge push forward for a lot of people, I think. Because I think a lot of people still live with that anxiety, that fear of what other people are thinking, what other people are feeling, or how you're supposed to dress, to talk, to look. You know, we live in this comparative world. We compare ourselves. Used to be we just compared ourselves to like supermodels, you know, on the magazine covers, or guys would compare themselves to, like, you know, the muscle and fitness guys, right? But now we've got Instagram. So before we could say, well, I can't quite meet up to those expectations because, you know, those people are an anomaly. But now you've got Instagram, you got all these Photoshop pictures, people looking perfect, and you're like, how can I ever measure up? But it's just false, because you don't have to measure up with anybody. You just got to be you. You just got to do your thing. So, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that was. All right. All right, so we did a 3-mile walk today, so something just easy. Just to get the blood pumping. I've been on vacation all week, so today will be my first back to work after vacation, which is good because I get antsy. I like to get back to work. I like to see patients. If I take too much time off, well, it just feels strange. I get that feeling of purposelessness. But all right, so let me know, guys. I don't know, did you like this style? Was it too much of my rambling, too much walking? I don't know, whatever. If you got any other ideas for more videos, something you're working on, something you're curious about, just shoot me a comment. And I hope you guys have a great day.